that you
I
want
know.
us to
Let's
get
start with
to or
Umar,
pressing?
son. Let's start with
Let's
Umar.
go.
Well, there's two instances where, you know, because he's been in the news lately commenting on. So I thought I'll play a little bit of this here. Because I do actually find myself in a little bit of agreement here. This is from
While
Comedy
fans are
Hype.
raving about the new live-action remake of Disney's The Little Mermaid, author and activist Dr. Umar took to his social media account to shun the film for its lack of Black love representation. In his Instagram account, where he also blasted the upcoming film Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the school psychologist critiqued, how the hell are you going to have a Black superhero cartoon for our children? And he's lusting and thirsting over the skim milk in the damn trailer.
We can't even have a cartoon with Black on Black love. It's getting out of control. Little Mermaid, Spider-Man, bunny hopping.
He added that Spider-Man's character in the film would end up being replaced after being accused of sexual harassment.
She probably going to accuse him of smacking her too. Watch, he going to get locked up. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Spider-Man across the universe, she's going to accuse him of rape, and he's going to go to jail, and they're going to replace him with a white Spider-Man. Watch.
Although we have seen these scenarios played out in real life consistently, some fans might say it's not that deep. It's just a children's movie. Halle Bailey's role as Ariel in The Little Mermaid is groundbreaking in itself because the original character was white. While Black and minority representation in TV and film is on the rise, some critics don't think it's enough. If the main character is Black, why wouldn't there be a Black love interest as well?
So I'll play just that part of it. I want to share just one other quick post from Dr. Umar that admittedly touches a little close to home. But again, I find myself in agreement. This is in response to his being criticized by Matt Barnes. And Umar Johnson says, Mr. Matt Barnes, you are misrepresenting my words. I never told anyone not to go and watch the film. I never said boycott the film, as that wouldn't be fair to the Black actors involved. Please don't put words in my mouth, good brother. It's my policy to still purchase tickets when young, up-and-coming Black actors are involved. They shouldn't suffer due to the political agendas behind their films over which they exercise no control. However, I'd never take my son or daughter to see a children's movie where a Black character is thirsting after a white person. Perhaps you take issue with my position because you are the product of interracial union, and I can understand your sensitivity. My position should not be meant as an attack on mixed-race Africans, as you are not responsible for how you came into this world. I accept mixed-race Africans as family if they identify with their race, and I reject those who deny their race. If I have 5 children, and then I would purchase 5 tickets to support the lead actors. However, my children aren't setting foot into that theater. Nonetheless, I said what I said, and I meant it. These films are not harmless. They are propaganda movies that serve a specific social engineering agenda. Psychological warfare happens to be an area of research and expertise for me. I recommend that you read a good book on the subject before you pass judgment, sir. He could have mentioned one. He could have recommended a book. But anyway, lastly, the name is Dr. Umar, bruh. Put some respect on my name.
Oh, that's not bad for Umar. I'm down with that second. The first.
That's what I was. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
One. Oh no, I was just going to say. Obviously, I think the critique is real. I think we've all noticed and or mentioned that or talked through it before in different places and spaces. Yeah, and obviously, but obviously, we're too far off to be for anybody to be thinking that these films will do anything, for our community. They are basically entertainment vehicles that are meant to put us within a certain mind frame around moving away from Blackness. I think Umar is totally correct on that. But we've come a long way. We used to be Black actors fought, right? I remember Diane Carroll one time, and I think even Harry Belafonte's daughter, like they both said, like, I want to be able to have like a white counterpart on the screen, because I think they had that in their real life too. And they were like,
well, Diane Carroll actually, in one of her television roles in her early career, where she played a nurse,
Julia,
and a single mother,
Julia,
right?
Julia.
Thank you. But she fought to at least have it acknowledged that the absence of the husband was due to him being killed in war. That was as close as she could get to having a Black, like she didn't want to just be like another absentee Black father, but that was as close as she could get, was to say, anyway, thank you, Kevin C. Keep up the great discussion. Yeah. Anyway, so I actually agree, and fundamentally with the 2 points he's making in each case, I actually do agree. I think that there, on the one hand, there could be, a recognition for the realities of that produce me, and that allow for people to have whatever relationships that they want to have, and also to recognize that there is, I've recognized it, that there seems to be an attempt to portray more interracial couples than exist in reality, and that there seems to be some sort of sense that an all Black couple is somehow retrograde. Yeah, it's like going backwards.
It's so old school.
Yeah, it's like,
Black people commingled.
Like there can't be an advance in humanity if there's a Black couple involved, anyway.
Real quick, I was going to add one thing I do disagree with, and I no longer pay money to go see movies just because Black folks are in them. Those days are done. Those days are done. Yeah.
Anyway,
I still haven't seen 12 Years a Slave. Or is it 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah.
Somebody was just talking about it's like the 10th year anniversary. That's like, that should have been out for 10 years.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Wow. Never saw it either.
Haven't seen it.
I didn't see it either, actually.
They're both like, it's interesting you guys say 12 Years a Slave, because 12 Years a Slave and Precious are 2 movies that I've only seen once. You know what I'm saying? And I have no desire to ever see them twice. But I actually thought 12 Years a Slave was very well acted. What's the guy's name? Chidwell?
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying his name wrong. And then that's where old girl showed up for the first time that we seen her. Well, I can remember seeing her. What's her name?
Hey, I think Monique can act in Precious. I think to me, it's the quality of the acting isn't the problem. In fact, the problem.
The content of the movie was terrible. I mean, Precious was horrific.
Oh my God.
In 12
I
Years
still haven't seen Precious.
Lupita, right? Thank you for Kim. Yeah, that's Lupita was.
Lupita, thank you guys. Yes, Lupita. What has Lupita been in lately? And you know what? I don't even care.
De Beers Diamond.
That's the only thing that came to mind.
De Beers. Diamonds are forever.
New face.
The new face of the bit. Exactly.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, that's where we are. That's. But at the same time, she said she did not want to be in Woman King because it negatively depicted the women she was trying to positively depict in Wakanda. This is the
contradiction.
Which I thought Woman King wasn't that bad. And I know that was a whole lot of controversy. Oh, you hated Woman King? You did a whole thing around it.
Yeah, just hate it because
I wasn't that as entertainment goes.
Again, it's not the quality of the film that is my problem. Yeah. It's not the acting or the storytelling that is usually a problem I have. It is, in fact, the better they do it, the more I have a problem because it makes it harder to get around the harmful politics. But yeah, just the history and all the stuff. And then, and again, sort of to Umar's point, like I was critical in that film of having sort of a mixed race superhero. Right. Like he's got to, like they got to have, like they got to, like, come on, man. Like I don't, like, stop trying to give and doing it in the sense of trying to give the Portuguese some room. That's, like that's the thing. Like I don't have a problem. Like if you want to include the legitimate history of people of multiracial backgrounds deciding consciously towards hypo descent and saying I'm staying with my African family and fighting with them, tell that story. But you don't have, but don't try to soften the enslavement and the colonization by throwing in a love interest. And
that's
like, come on, man.
And then wasn't the dude from Hamilton? It was like the dude from Hamilton or something.
I think so. Yeah. So it's like, anyway.
He's like the mulatto of the moment, at least 10 years ago.
No, do you remember when some years ago where Drake? No, he won Jew of the Year. I remember, and he and Obama somebody said that they were the two most influential mulattoes. That was the phrase they used. Who said that at the time? I did. Anyway,
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, it was anyway.
Y'all really have a problem with Little Mermaid, though?
No. I haven't seen it. I don't have a problem with Little Mermaid. What I do is I'm saying I agree with the critique that Umar is making, that there is an attempt to deny that a fully Black couple is somehow humane and decent for the world. That's the
Who's cast? I'm sorry, because I don't know anything. I mean, I know the original Little Mermaid. Who is cast as the prince in this movie? It's a white actor. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, some white guy.
Yeah.
That's the love interest.
And he's straight up white. They didn't even make him like off white, like a spicy white. I mean, but he, you know, he's like Nordic. Is he blonde?
Like the Mediterranean, like is he from like the Mediterranean area?
Like,
Moorish Spain?
They didn't get the hot mulatto that we were just talking about from
He looks
from
in
Hamilton.
that clip. He looks
Now
straight up
here's the
white.
dude here. This is him here, Jonathan Howard King, right?
Oh, that looks white.
What about the other spicy mulatto from Bridgerton, the one that all the gals like, Reggae John Page, Reggae? Okay, y'all don't know. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
I can't even watch those
Aquafina's in
things.
it.
I can't watch
Nora?
those either. The ahistorical pieces, whatever they call
No,
them.
I haven't watched Bridgerton either. Yeah.
Those look so terrible to me. They have these black folks dressing up in European garb, acting like they were queens and princesses and interacting without without anything to do with race or whatever. It's just like it's beyond the pale in terms of the fantasy world. It's like I can't buy it. I know all of it. It's like fantasy. I just can't buy it. I'm just like, what is this? Why should
I never watched it either. I mean, when they said it was a cute, pretty young thing in there, I said, well, I might be watch an episode to see what they talk. But yeah, and he's attractive. So, but no, I never watched the whole series because again, same thing. It's like, oh, there's the Queen Charlotte, and it's like, was she? Is she really? Oh, and are people just getting a very distorted take about this time period and the role that black people played in it, if at all? So yeah, I'm not interested in watching that either.
Yeah.
But
and they're not. Well, again, I think these things do have purposes behind them, but there are people dumb enough who will look at that and rearrange, or young enough. I mean, not to say dumb enough, maybe young and dumb enough, but to rearrange, or they haven't been given any other information, so they start thinking like that's history, or that's what I want to aspire to again. It's a newer version of a Disney princess for black folks in a way.
Wow.
But it's like that's what I want to aspire to again, to be within the wealth of white society and to be respected within it, to be looked upon as beautiful within white society, to be given the cachet that you get. It's like that's the ideological drive there. So outside of those things, and just it's just I'm repulsive. Like, oh my God, she's got on like a long dress, the long British whatever colonial dress turn. I can't watch it.